You know the feeling. It's late, you're scrolling on your phone, and bam! There it is. A slow-mo video of a cheese pull that seems to go on forever. Or maybe a cloud of dry ice that dramatically reveals some fancy dessert. It looks absolutely incredible. But let's be real for a second. Is any of it actually good to eat? Okay, let's get into it. This is the million-dollar question, right? It haunts every single one of us who loves food. You see these spots just blowing up on your feed. Everyone's calling them underrated gems or absolute must-tries. But how much of that is legit and how much is just, for the gram? Well, we've done the digging for you, cross-referencing all that viral hype with reviews from actual food critics and, more importantly, real people who've spent their own money there.
And that really brings us to the core of this whole thing, a word you absolutely need in your vocabulary: videogenic. This is food that's been engineered not for your taste buds, but for the algorithm. It's all about that visual hook. The crazy cheese pull, the sparklers, the smoke, anything that makes you stop scrolling, even if the flavor itself is, well, completely forgettable.
And this whole trend has created something we're calling the social media food trap. It's this bizarre world where a restaurant can build a massive reputation based almost entirely on how good its food looks on camera, leaving a whole lot of disappointed diners in its wake. I mean, just think about it for a second. Caviar bumps, food served under a literal cloud of dry ice. This stuff is pure theater. It's all designed to make you feel like you're part of some exclusive, amazing experience. But more often than not, it's just a flashy way to hide a pretty average meal. So that's what we're going to do today. Separate the real deal from the stuff that's just for show.
All right, let's kick things off with the influencer traps. These are the places that get non-stop love on social media. But when you actually go, sit down, and spend your hard-earned money, they just don't deliver. It's time to bust a few myths.
First on our list is Bad Roman in New York City. I bet your feed is flooded with their famous pepperoni cups and that photogenic cacio e pepe ravioli. They sell it as the hottest new Italian spot in town. But what's the actual reality? Well, critics from major outlets called it gimmicky. And the real diners, people on Reddit, they're saying the pasta is bland and the whole thing feels like a total cash grab.
One user review really just hit the nail on the head. It said, it is a content studio, not a serious restaurant. And that's exactly it. You're not going there for a memorable meal. You're going there to create content. The food is basically just a prop for your post. Okay, let's hop across the pond to London and talk about this Cedric Grolet phenomenon. He's hyped up as the world's best pastry chef, and his hyper-realistic fruit pastries look like they belong in a museum. They're stunning for sure, but at over 25 pounds for a single pastry, do they taste like it? Well, critics and diners alike are saying, not so much. You're paying a huge premium for a photo op. The experience is way more about the visual flex than the actual flavor.
And we're back in New York for Coco Dak. It's famous for its so-called luxury fried chicken and that infamous golden nugget topped with caviar. Sounds pretty fancy, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Foodies who genuinely know their fried chicken say the batter is way too hard, the sauces are kind of weak, and it honestly doesn't hold a candle to authentic Korean spots that cost a fraction of the price. The caviar? It's a status symbol, not a flavor enhancer.
And finally, we have the ultimate trap, Casa Cruz in NYC. It's marketed as this super exclusive celebrity hotspot, this hidden gem. But the trick here is that the hype is completely manufactured by making it almost impossible to get a reservation. Professional critics who have managed to get inside have called the food insipid and outrageously expensive. Let's be clear, it's not really a restaurant, it's more like a club for the super rich, where the food is just an afterthought.
Okay, it's not all doom and gloom. I don't want you to lose all faith in your social media feed, because sometimes, just sometimes, the algorithm gets it 100% right. So now, let's talk about the places where the hype is absolutely, totally real. See, this is where it gets really cool. It's when you find that perfect alignment, when the crazy viral videos, the serious food critics, and the reviews from regular people all say the exact same thing. This place is incredible. These are the true gems you're looking for.
Let's take L'Industrie Pizzeria in New York. Yeah, it's all over social media, and yes, the lines are insane, but unlike those other viral pizza spots that just pile on the cheese for a good photo, this one is validated by pretty much everyone that matters, from Bon Appetit all the way to the Michelin Guide. And the reason is simple: a serious, well-developed fermentation process for their dough and top-notch ingredients. The hype is completely earned.
Now, over in London, you've got Chatsworth Bakehouse. They use a drop system for their sandwiches, which creates this feeling of scarcity, and usually that's a huge red flag for a hype machine.
But this is different. This is a small, passion-driven bakery, and pretty much everyone agrees that the product, that incredible, exceptional focaccia, is absolutely worth the hype and all the effort it takes to get one.
And here's another fantastic London example. Emerald Eats. This spot went viral for a very simple reason. It was filling a genuine need for authentic Irish comfort food. And how do you know it's the real deal? The line is constantly filled with Irish expats. Seriously, you cannot get a better, more authentic seal of approval than that.
So we've seen the good, and we've definitely seen the bad. The big question now is, how can you tell the difference when you're just scrolling through your feed? Well, don't worry, we're going to build your own personal viral hype detector.
The next time you see a video pop up claiming someplace is a hidden, underrated gem, how do you protect yourself from falling into the trap? It's actually a lot easier than you might think once you know exactly what to look for.
All right, here is your official checklist. First red flag, the cheese pull priority. If the entire video is just about squeezing food to make it ooze cheese or sauce, it's made for the camera, not your mouth. Next, beware of so-called secret menus. 9 times out of 10, it's just engagement bait. Third, if you see dry ice or sparklers, just remember, good food does not need a magic show. And finally, my personal favorite, the exaggerated reaction shot. You know the one, that over-the-top, eyes rolling back in their head moment of ecstasy before they've even swallowed? It's a total performance.
And here's a super simple rule to live by. If you spot 2 or more of these red flags in a single video, your internal alarm bells should be going off. It is a very, very strong sign that the place is all hype and no substance. Just do yourself a favor and keep scrolling. So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. The next time a food video stops you dead in your scroll, just ask yourself, am I looking at a genuinely delicious meal that I should go out and try? Or am I just watching a really, really effective marketing campaign? The answer might just change where you decide to eat next.